Good evening, pirates. We'll be starting our session within next 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I would like to welcome you all to the one of the workshop of Two Lines Club. And before starting this workshop, I have also taken a brief introduction from all of you participants, and I can see this batch or this current 5 days workshop have lot many experienced participants, those who have spent good amount of time in market, and also they have their own understanding about the market. So before starting with today's topic, there are some uh, there are some we will not call it as an rules, but we will follow some guidelines, how we are going to approach towards day 5. The most important day is day 4 and day 5, but for that we will be creating some dots. What is dots? We will create some basic understanding, and this basic understanding is going to create strong pillars, and using these pillars we are going to understand this theory, and we will connect all the dots on day 4 and day 5. So let me share my screen. So the agenda, so you have got one meeting invite, and we are going to follow the same agenda. I have added some of additional elements to the agenda, and so I am going to share with you. I hope my screen is visible to every one of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to share all my observations from last 5 years, and these observations are not backward tested. I have tested market in forward direction. Like every day I have Vedansh, 2 minutes session suru hai babu. So every day I have conducted, I have traded market for one lot. I have selected one chart, that is Bank Nifty, and by trading that one lot, when Bank Nifty lot size was 40, those who are not aware of Bank Nifty, I hope everyone must be aware of Bank Nifty, Nifty. These are the index most happening indices in Indian stock market. There are stocks as well. and there are different other instruments like commodity and forex. So I have tested bank nifty, and when lot size was 40, then lot size was 20, now lot size is 25, and I have written down all my observations, and out of which I have filtered out the observations which perfectly works in any market scenario, and why they work, why they can work in any market scenario. I'm going to give a reason behind this understanding, and we will be starting with some myths or some hypothesis, and we are going to prove that hypothesis in these 5 days. So this is a challenge for me now. Whatever I have understood in last 5 years, I want to cover that entire understanding within next 5 days. So it's completely big challenge. The all the format or the structure which we have prepared for this workshop, it is well planned, well organized. So we are visiting topic one by one, and we are focusing on individual topic. We are freezing the content. We are confirming whether everyone is on same page or not, and if there is any participant who is lagging in understanding, we will match up with the participant who has the lowest speed. Okay, don't worry if the workshop is not completed in 5 days. Like, if we are not able to complete this topic in 5 days, we can spend additional days as well, as per your permission. I just want to complete the topic, because instead of sharing partial understanding, maybe it is always better to share complete understanding, and then you can practically use these skills. So in this entire discussion, this can be two-way discussion. So we will start with the theoretical aspect of this theorem. Why I'm calling it as a theorem? Because you might have come across this concept now, but I have work upon this in 5 years, 4 years back, and now I can prove it as an theory. But still, as you are new, you can consider this as a theorem, and we will prove it step by step, because our mind cannot just believe on the saying. It needs to digest entire topic, and whatever we are going to share, you should observe the same thing in the market. Then and only then you are going to get this understanding, or these understandings will get registered in your mind. So all these observation are there. And as per my understanding, I guess no one knows this yet. I know this can be a quite big claim, but I can definitely guarantee you from my side, whatever observations you are going to come across in this workshop, you must have never come across this observation, or this is not written in any book. You will not find this on any of the YouTube channel. Why? Because I have not referred any book. I have not referred any YouTube channel. These observations are created, tested, formulated, and shared in the simplest format with me, by me only. And why I'm sharing this to retail participants? This is very simple logic. Every retail participant is a part of the stock market ecosystem, and mostly the retailers' money is being eaten up by big players. And I would like to share this theory with first 1,000 retail participants, those who are willing to learn this in the way which I'm explaining, and those who are going to implement this in live market, and why they will, or why you will follow this technique. You may get that understanding towards the end of the session. On day 5, your mind should give that answer, whether whatever thing which you are looking for in the market since last many years. As I can see in today's session, we have participants who has 10 plus years of experience in the market. But definitely I can say this from my side. If these things are known to any participant, or if you might have come across this kind of understanding, definitely there is no one in the market who is sharing this. So there can be two reasons. One, no one knows it. The other reason, no one wants to share this with retail traders. And my part is, I would like to beat FIS at certain point. And how to beat FIS? Whenever we want to fight with someone, we need to know every aspect of that participant. And that is why I have spent ample amount of time in understanding what foreign investors are doing with Indian market, and that is how I have reached to this understanding. So this is two-line theory. And why two lines? The TWO is the short form of the window of opportunity. So stock market is actually a long lasting story. It is like whenever you are seeing the market, it is always in the form of either up or down. We are seeing the market in terms of chart, and whenever we are looking into the market, it is just the current window of opportunity. We cannot catch the past, we cannot predict the future. Whatever we should do is just with this window of opportunity. If you can take a maximum benefit of this opportunity, then and only then it is going to benefit for us. So we need not to care about the future, we need not to care about the past, but we will care about what is there in our plate today, and we will try to eat that. Okay, so I'll be also keeping everyone on mute. The only thing is, whenever anyone wants to speak about anything, you can just unmute yourself and you can speak out. One moment. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone is on mute. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. So there are some participants still joining, no problem. Okay, so this is the TWO, and TWO stands for two lines. So I have created a method by using which we can predict, or we can analyze, or we can project any market condition by using only two horizontal lines. So this is window of opportunity, and we don't need anything other than these two lines and two completely horizontal lines. And I'm going to prove this towards end of the session. So slowly and gradually we will try to digest this topic. And it is not like if you have your own experience, we are going to keep that own experience aside for next 5 days. I'm not saying whatever you have gained in last few years, when you have spent any time with the market, it is definitely helpful, but what I'm going to share today is with respect to two lines theory, and you need to test this with live market scenarios, and then and only then you can create your opinion. Okay, so let us go ahead with the today's topic. So what we are going to cover today, this is exclusively made available for first 1,000 active retail traders, and the session which you are going through is level 0 session. So I am going to give you overview, and this overview is so powerful that after 5 days you will feel like you have a experience of around 7+ years. Anyone who is there, or anyone who you might be aware of in your, if he or she is your colleague or an market expert, you can definitely beat his understanding about the market. You will have that courage and you will have that clarity after completing this session. So day one, just ignore the timing. This was for weekend sessions. So keep aside your old experience, refresh your belief with your new learning, and we will tune our psychology with shadow psychology. What is shadow psychology? We are going to start on this topic after half an hour. Importance of 13th March 2020 candle. If you have come across the market like index, Nifty or Bank Nifty, what has happened in the market on 13th March 2020? Is anyone of you aware of this price action which has happened on 13th March 2020? Just say yes or no in the chat box, or you can unmute and say your opinion. Are you guys aware of what has happened in the market on 13th March 2020? Let me show you on which candle I'm talking about. Okay, Mini is saying no. What about others? Let us make this session more interactive, and whenever we are requesting some information, quickly we'll respond to that, so that we can use this time to clear out all our queries. and we will not keep any doubt in our mind, so that sooner or later we can use this theory for practical implementation. Okay, so not aware. So there are 4 or 5 opinions I can see in the chat box. What about others? Oh, sorry, 3 opinions, not 4. Mini, Pradeep ji, and Meneses, Ravi, GS, Yogesh, Deepak ji saying no. Okay, no problem. So I'm going to reveal you the biggest secret. Normally, many you might have come across many of YouTube sessions of many of the trainers, and normally if you want to share, they want to share anything like me. I'm not trainer. I'm accidental trainer. I'm trader and analyst. Accidentally during pandemic I become trainer. I'll also share, if we get some time, how I become trainer. I'll share that part. So what has happened in during the corona fall, uh, market created some momentum, and using this momentum there was a negative sentiment happened in the market, and this negative sentiment has some mathological explanation. My voice is very low. Is this low for everyone or for some of the participants?
No, it's properly. No,
Okay,
it's proper.
thank you. Yeah. So during this pandemic, so if we look into the chart, as per two lines theory, there is a clear mathological application of pure maths. And as per our theory, this is the application of two lines, and how the market is manipulated using these two lines, I'm going to share with you. So what happened in the market? Market went sideways for certain duration, and that has created some levels in the market. So this was the sideways move, and these are two important horizontal lines on daily time frame. So these are the two important control points, I can say, which were present at that moment during that live market. We could clearly identify these two control points. And how I come across these two control points, I'm going to give you the exact logic, how we concluded this, and how you can even independently do this after 5 days. Okay, so these lines are not created by me. I have just plotted these 2 points, and I go back in the history or historical chart, and even this is matching. And I go even more back, and I try to match these levels, and it is still matching. Okay, so what has happened in the market? Market went in certain decision making phase. For us, what is decision making phase? I'm going to cover that just to get an additional information. So on that day the market went sideways, and then market corrected by certain points, and this is the level where market has actually stopped. Now you will see, you will ask, or you will say the market has not stopped at this point. Actually market has stopped at this point. The only reason we can see some price action which is beyond our control, because every retail participant was in fear, and to manage this the price went just uh, beyond certain limit, and to control this they again, the big players again deployed some money to control that. But actual halt has happened exactly on same control point, and our theory is based on identifying these two control points which are present on every time frame. So these are the two. So our two lines theory says, one moment. Okay. Two line theory says if the market is controlled within two control points, then any boundary, if it is crossed by the participant, the market run for twice the distance of the distance between these two control points. The market will run for twice the distance for the distance within which is present in these two control points. And if I tell you this, then it cannot make any logic, or it is like I have shown this on daily time frame. Okay. During this 5 days, I am going to show this same logic present on each and every time frame. And we are going to understand this in completely different way. Okay. So there is one number which is present for as a manipulation number for bank nifty. We are going to discuss this towards the end of the session, but we are starting our session with this understanding. And now we are going to look into the most important aspect to digest this topic. And that is why we have aligned our today's topic. Where is this? Yeah. So we are going to learn about what is there in 13th March 2020. What is 13th March 2020? You can see in this entire fall, there is one candle standing completely green. Who has this power? Who has this money? Actually, this is not power. This is the money which is being deployed by some of the participants in the market to control the market. And how this candle is formed? This candle has revealed the theory which I was working upon since 2017, and this has given the exact evidence that our understanding is perfectly right. And if you look into this complete price action, what is the magical number which is present in bank nifty? We are going to discuss that toward the end of the session. But before going further, I need to set up the psychology. Again, the Sitaraman candle explanation, we are going to discuss that. Corona crash, I'll also try to explain Corona crash if we get some time. And recently war has happened. We will also try to cover this topic. And all this topic are linked to the psychology, and how this psychology will be beneficial for us, that we are going to cover in further sessions. Okay, so today is day 1. So language for the session will be English, because I know Marathi, Hindi and English. I can speak Marathi, Hindi and English, and the communication language can be English. So you can ask your queries. Majorly, we will discuss this session in English. If anything which is not understood by you, you can just ask me. I can repeat that in Hindi as well. Okay. Yes, English, Hindi and English, Hindi plus English. So let's go further. Commitment. What is commitment? Just forget about what we did in past. There is difference between interest and commitment. So I am interested. What does that mean? When you are interested in something, you do it only when it is convenient. I don't want participants, those who are there in the session as per their convenience. Whatever I'm going to share, it is 5 years of understanding, and it is completely complex topic. We are trying to make it very simple so that the average human brain can understand it. And as every brain has some different capacity, or different sentiments, or different background story, different journey for that brain to reach to current level. So that is why only interest is not important. We should be committed to understand this. And when you are committed in something, you accept no excuses, only results. Means you need to keep these sessions on priority. So from today onwards, whatever time we have allocated, because we are going to jump forward 5 years, and definitely I can guarantee this from my side. I need a commitment from your side. If you are ready to spend these 5 days, you will have an concrete understanding about stock market, which is way more powerful than any other participant which is currently present in the market. Okay, and I would also like to know your opinion towards the end of the session, whether whatever I have said in first session is right or not. So stock market is not a different game. It is like if we are talking about any activity, it is kind of game. And like other games, the stock market is also an game. It has many kind of participants. What are these participants? Some of the participants are on winning side, some of the participants are on losing side. If we combine all these participants together, then we call it as an participants. Like winners and losers, they are getting this tag only after participation. But on the first level, we all are participants. So there are some set of rules. Like every game has some rules. We should know these rules. Then if you are following rules, if you are expert in that game, then you get some rewards. If we are doing which is not accepted by game, we get penalties. The same thing is happening with stock market. There are some winning methods, there are some losing methods, there are some open secrets, and there are some hidden secrets. So like every game, this is just a plain game, and we are going to play this game as an pirates. So normally whenever I'm addressing any participant in any of the group or any of the forum or any of this discussion or any of this workshop, we call it as an pirates. Why pirates? Because I like to play this game as an activity, which is we call it as an you must have gone through or you must have watched the movie Pirates of Caribbean. So what we are going to learn by understanding this skill, we are going to steal some effortless money from stock market. And the market is ocean of opportunities. And so we this workshop is nothing but part of uh, Black Pearl strategies. What is Black Pearl? Black Pearl is a ship. Like you are boarded on one of the ship, and I am the captain of the ship. I call it as an I call it myself as an Jack Sparrow. So we are driving this ship. We have some crew members who will help you to sail this ship in any of the market condition. From today onwards, you are part of Two Lines Club, and every batch. So I am going to cover all the market aspects for next 4 years. So we have covered last 1 year. We have more than 800 hours of videos where we have projected some levels in the market, and whether market has actually followed those levels or not, you're going to check that with the this is kind of advanced sessions. And the participant who is joining for one of the session, he get the access for all the 40 sessions that we will discuss towards the end of the 5 day. If anyone is interested in understanding this theory to a completely different depth level. Okay, so we need to understand some facts. If we are participating in any of the game, there are some facts. One moment please. So although I am going to share all my observations, definitely some of the observations you may not like it, some of the observations you may like very much, or some of the observations you will have a 50-50 opinion. Okay, so before going further, I would like to share some facts, and these facts will dilute this dilemma or will dilute this understanding about current game which we are talking about, stock market. Okay, so there should be one winner. As we are playing this game, there should be always one winner, there should be many losers. So if we are looking at the winners, we can count winners using our the winners are in single digit, but the losers may be in hundreds or thousands. Open secrets are always traps. So whatever skill which is currently present in the market as in general knowledge is all crap or a trap. That is my understanding about the market. Please do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying if you have studied candlestick or you have spent 2 years on candlestick, that candlestick is nothing but trap. Okay. Hidden secrets are real rewards. So whatever shown in the chart is the open secret. Whatever there is in chart, but it is not clearly visible, that is hidden secret. That's a real reward. Knowing rules before playing the game is very important. is as stock market is game, there are some different rules. Like if you are doing some job, if you are doing some business, or if you are in any other profession, there are some rules. So even stock market has some rules. There can be millions of ways. There can be millions of ways to fail in the game. And along with that, there can be hundreds of ways. So to fail, to get fail, we have millions of ways, but to get success, we have hundreds of ways. Not every method suits everyone. Whatever I am going to share with you, whatever observations I am going to share with you, it cannot directly applicable to your mind, or you cannot directly use this uh, methods. This may not suit you the way I am expecting. Some part of it maybe your mind can easily handle, and some part of it you might cannot handle or cannot digest. So we need to choose whatever suits your mind. Not one method suits for all. It is also like, if I am saying we have only one page rule for handling any stock and one page rule for handling any index, and that suits to any stock. But this but this one method may not be understood by you in a correct way. So you can modify this method according to your acceptance level. One should keep collecting reasons of win. The most important fact about game is, one should know why we have why the person is winning that game, what different method, what different strategy that person has used, and we can then learn these strategies or learn this method. Also, one should keep collecting the reasons for loss to improve the game. It is like winning is also important, losing is also important. If someone is losing, there must be some reason behind losing, and we cannot only focus on winning. One can restart game anytime, and one can relearn this game anytime. Only thing, it is all about mindset, it is all about psychology. That means if I ask you to restart this game, it is possible, but you may not you might not know the exact method how to reset your brain to understand this new topic. We can relearn this game also again. For that, there are some activities we should go through that process, where mind will follow some behavior, and that behavior will get registered into subconscious mind, and the mind will start acting according to the commands which is given by this subconscious mind. But for that, consciously we need to follow some behavior. Is this possible in the real world scenario, or can we really train our mind to handle any kind of stock market uh, structure or any kind of trade? Yes, it is definitely possible. We are not talking about theoretical aspect of it. We are going to create some set of action, some set of rules which you can practically follow, and which by using which you can practically train or block or control your mind during live market sessions. So one can create own method. So this is the approach which I have used. So I have tried and tested all the different methods, but then I understood these methods which are freely available in the market are not helping for me. So I need to dig out my own method, and I have started creating, working upon my own method. Whatever observations I'm going to share with you are after 2016. So from 2009 to 2022, I am in market. 2009 to 2016, I have lost around 22 lakhs, and I definitely do not have a concrete understanding why and when I have lost this much amount of money. It was completely gambling psychology, or it was completely I was trading on information. And when I realized that I was trading on information, I tried to convert it into the knowledge. I'm giving you the same, I'm going to give you the same steps where you will start trading by trading. You will start your trading journey based on your knowledge and not on information. How to filter it out, how to filter this information, and how to process that as an knowledge, we are going to understand that. One can follow, copy, or partially copy others method. If I'm sharing this method with you, definitely you can follow, you can copy this entirely, or you can copy this partially, and maybe some part of this method can be useful for this, for your own execution. One can exit game anytime. So there is no compulsion. It is stock market. It is not like you have some burden, like if you are participating today you should participate tomorrow. You can take a break of 6 months, you can take a break of 1 year, and still you can come back, and still you can exit this game anytime. One can practice method to win the game again and again. So if you get one of the winning method, we can practice that method over and over again, and this method can become a skill. So even I'm going to share with you one of the metrics, which is complex matrix, but the matrix has 4 different dimensions, and then you can exactly plot where exactly you are standing and how you are going to proceed, how you are going to change your clarity phase, how you are going to change your time phase, how you are going to change your result phase, and how you are going to change there is another fourth element. I'll share that as well. Okay, so one can expedite the winning process with the practice, and one can master to a level where no one can beat him or her until the next master. So we can always practice it to a level where we can have a mastery, and then no one can beat us, and that is really possible. Until there is no other master, you can be a master. So likewise, I have started understanding this fact. Sooner or later we can digest some of the facts, and then our mind will start behaving in a way which is suitable for stock market. So we have understood some facts about the market. Now we'll go to the next topic. So as today's topic is dedicated to psychology, psychology has two parts. One is sentiments, and second one is actual psychology. What is sentiments? Whenever we are talking about sentiments, we are talking about the factors which are outside your mind. So if I ask you about Reliance, so if Reliance stock is being traded in the market, so the factors behind the current Reliance price, there can be multiple factors. One of the factor can be supply or demand. Another factor can be a technological change happening. So there must be, so Reliance is introducing 5G mobiles or 5G services. That is an technological aspect, and some participants are interested in Reliance due to 5G services. There can be a natural disaster, war-like situation. So recently happened, recently there was a situation between Russia and Ukraine, and that has some effect on Indian stock market as well. There can be uh, action taken by some legal system on the organization, and the side effect of that action can change the perspective of the stock. There are some different market indicators. There can be some government policies, newly introduced policies, maybe RBI repo rate. It can be anything, inflation, change in inflation. So like that, there are also some sentiments. Owner has some sentiments about the stocks. Even some participants are only there who are taking a benefit or advantage of the news. If there is a positive news, they take an advantage in completely different way. If there is a negative news, they have some different method to handle it. There are some participants, those who are only interested in daily activities. So they do not care about what is happening in the stock for long term. They are just focused, their focus is only to trade that stock for the day. And then they need not to care about the fundamentals of the stocks. They are just concerned about the short movement which they are going to catch in this Reliance. So if we check this, the Reliance has different level of sentiments. So market has mixtures of sentiments or millions of sentiments. If I ask you as an market participants, what is your opinion about this? Do we need to study all these sentiments? Do we need to care all these sentiments?
It depends on the situation.
Okay, it depends on the situation. So suppose there is a war happening in the market, and the sentiments can have some deflection because of this war kind of situation. And so this, can we use the same skill like the event was war, and can we use the same skill whenever the next time this event is happening? We can have like 50% of this we can use as it is, but this war and that war can be completely different. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I ask you, if I want to study the market, normally we say I'm learning stock market. If I want to learn this stock market, what could be the what should be my approach? Whether I need to study this all the different sentiments, or I should focus on one sentiment which is overpowering all the sentiments. What could be more beneficial? Studying all the sentiments or understanding only one sentiment, because market goes in one direction and it has either upside move or it has either downside move. And this, if market is in suppose upside move, that means someone is overpowering entire market sentiments. And whether it is beneficial to understand or spend some time or spend good amount of time to understand this overpowering sentiments, or we just need to study every sentiment which is participating in the market. What is your opinion? Just post your opinion in chat box, or you can say it in a.
According to me, if you have a good knowledge about the chart reading, then मतलब अगर आपको चार्ट नॉलेज है अच्छे से, तो मुझे
Mhm.
नहीं लगता कि मतलब सेंटिमेंट इफेक्ट करते हैं मार्केट को, बट सारी चीजें एक चार्ट बेस होती हैं.
Okay.
चार्ट आपको पहले बता देता है, मतलब पेंडेमिक होने वाला था बट उससे पहले चार्ट ने आपको बता दिया था, सिग्नल दिया था. इफ यू आर अ गुड
Mhm.
गुड चार्ट रीडर, देन ऑल्सो चार्ट रिफ्लेक्ट कि चार्ट बता रहा है आपको कि हाँ मार्केट यहाँ से नीचे जाएगी. तो
Exactly.
सेंटिमेंट भी इफेक्ट करते हैं, बट इफ यू हैव अ साउंड नॉलेज अबाउट द चार्ट रीडिंग, देन डेफिनेटली यू बीट द मार्केट.
Yes. Thank you for your opinion,
वेलकम.
Kirti ji. So single sentiment. So 5 years back, when I restarted my journey with the market, I started with the myth that market is controlled by one mindset or one set of participant, or there is an one entity which is overpowering all the other sentiments. And why and how this can overpower? Because they have the ample amount of money which can justify their move or their views about the market. If they want to create good up move, they have good amount of money, unlimited money, I can say. Normally retailers do not have this amount of money, but this single set of participants have unlimited access to the money, and so they can take market to any upper level or they can take market to any downside. And this is really possible. That was the myth I started with, or that was the hypothetical situation I started with, and I tried to prove that point with my basic understanding about the chart. And as you mentioned, everything is there in the chart. There are two aspects for the chart. So every sentiment is captured in the chart, and that's the disadvantage of the chart. Like if a retail trader is doing something on intraday level, that is also present in the same chart. If the other participant, like news based participant, is doing anything, or there are some big institutes, they are doing something with that stock, that is also mixing with all the retail participants. So everything is getting mixed, all the sentiments are getting mixed, and their impression we are watching in the chart footprints, or whatever we call it as an candles. Candles are nothing but the fragments of the time. So as per Indian stock market tool, we have these fragments of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, like that. And then we can analyze the sentiment. So when I started with this myth, I started with 14 different indicators, but slowly, gradually, I understood all the indicators are asking me to focus on the price. And that is why I ignore or I removed all the indicators which were giving me dual information. So some indicators are saying me market can go up, some at the same time within next 5 minutes the same indicator is saying market is going down. And that is why I have neglected those, and I have come up with some another method. Accidentally, after 8.5 months, I uh, came across a method by using which we can identify this market, or we can observe this same data with completely different level of analysis. Okay. So we consider that myth, and this single sentiment is important. And if we are spending good amount of time in understanding this single sentiment is the actual driving force. And once we know this driving force, when they are trying to make any decisions, if we know that phase, or when they are actually taking the decisions, if we can know that phase, then we are going to win. The winning probability for us in any market condition will be on higher side always. That is what I understood, and I started spending some time on chart. So now I am going to prove you the single sentiment overpowers the majority of market participants. It is like they are overpowering 95% of the participants, and that's a fact. So we will consider this as a myth or hypothetical situation today, but towards day 5, I'm going to ask you same question and I need answer from you. So do we really need to study all these sentiments? No, answer is no. We need to only focus on one set of sentiments. Just forget about millions of sentiments. So now we are focusing on the theorem, and on this slide onwards, whenever we are discussing about sentiments, we are only talking about sentiments which are overpowering all the other millions of sentiments. So we are not talking about specifically every small or retail participant or news based participant. We are only talking about some big players, those who are driving the market. So, and after this understanding, so we have some background logic or background knowledge about the stock market, but still with this existing knowledge we have difference in our opinion. Why? There is one common chart present. Like, from if you are opening this chart from any corner of this country, like India, if you are opening from Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, or whatever location, Kerala, Hyderabad, the same chart is visible in the screen for every participant. Still, if I ask you what is going to happen tomorrow in market, like Nifty will run upwards or downwards, what is your opinion? Just share your opinion in chat box. Will it go up or down? Practically we can experience this, the same chart, but there can be a difference in the opinion. Just post in the chat.
It will go up.
Go up. So Yogesh is saying go up. Kirti is saying go. It will go up. What about others? I need opinion of majority of the participants. I know this is the theoretical part, and we are not so.
Will go down.
Will go down. So the chart is saying for some participant it will go down. Some participants are saying it will go up. There is one participant is saying, I guess Gopinath sir is saying it is sideways. SWS is sideways. Okay. So if you look into the same chart, as per our past understanding, we have created our current projections about the market. Now what I'm going to do with all of your mind is, you all will have same understanding. After 5 days, you all will think in the same way. Why we will think in the same way? Because I'm going to share a method with you where what big players are projecting, where exactly they are going to take this price, and we will have a shadow opinion based on their opinion. So whatever they are doing with the market, we will just copy their actions. We will copy their analysis, we will copy their decisions, and we will act upon their decisions like the way they are acting. Okay, so there is one single chart, and towards the end of the sessions, if I ask you where the market is heading towards, then most of the majority of the participant will have one direction thought process and one direction opinion. So whenever we are making any decision, psychologically it is very difficult for us. If suppose we are considering a game of a chess, there are only 2 participants, and if 15 minutes are gone, and after 15 minutes there is one participant who is on the winning side and one participant is on the losing side, and if we if you want to check what is going to happen, so the prediction, the projection will say the one who is on the winning side, so he still has uh, he still has good chances to win. He has performed some actions, and in that scenario those actions helped him to reach to a level where he can win within next 2 or 3 moves. If that is the game, then we can define this with the logical parameters, and for making any further decision we will ask those parameters, and this parameter can give us the what I can say, values, and these values we are going to map together, and then we can create an opinion based on these values. And as we are increasing number of parameters, it can give us number of values, and it is going to confuse our mind. So the major thing which we need to work upon, one moment. Okay, so the major, as and when we are adding any parameter, it is going to dilute our decision making capacity, and that is why we have kept only 2 lines to formulate this. And if the market is on the either side of these 2 lines, if suppose 2 lines are below the current price, then market is going towards upside. If 2 lines are below above the current price, then market will go downside. How this is possible, we can analyze this. So normally whenever we are talking about the market or chart, one common chart has difference in opinions, and we are going to map this opinion by using lowest set of parameters, like only 1 or 2 parameters, and it is okay to analyze market. So it will take only 2 to 3 minutes to analyze any stocks, any stock or any index level after 5 days. Then we are only focused about upside or downside move. It is like downside. There are only 2 directions in market. Still we are confused. There are only 2 directions. Still we are, if we have spent around 10 years in the market, and still if we get some if someone asks us where the market is going tomorrow, we still have a confusion. It is not like I'm talking about you. All of us, all retail participants are always confused about these 2 directions, because we have only focused till now, we have only focused on selling side or buying side, or I can say negative direction or positive direction. But there is one important thing which we are not focusing upon. So actually, although there are 2 directions, there are 3 important trends. And when we are analyzing this downtrend and uptrend, we are completely forgetting this sideways move. These sideways moves are nothing but the decision making phase of big players. And I have spent my 5 years in understanding the sideways moves. Because suppose a board meeting is happening, and after every board meeting, the decision is being made by board members whether they are going to take this company to a next growth level, or they are going to take down this company to the next degrowth level. Okay, and this decision we can only understand by attending the board meeting. Once board meeting is over, we are going to see the reflection of the board meeting and the effect of that board meeting in the actual real time scenario or real life scenario. But by, if there is any tool by using which if we can understand the opinion of these big players during this board meeting, then it can help us to prepare ourselves, and then we can plan our activities the according to the opinions of the board members, and we can be ready with handling both the directions, like uptrend or downtrend, right? And what we are going to do with this understanding. So if we are in market, suppose you are spending next 2 years in market, suppose you have spent last 5 years in market, this is the only slide which is important. Forget about the entire 5 days training session. This is the only slide. If we understood, or if we have anything which is which is helping us to stay away from this uncontrolled loss. So there are four kind of exits every participant come across during their stock market journey. Either that exit can be with the big loss, or it can be with the small loss, or it can be with the small profit or big profit. Normally our mind is ready to digest this three part, but our mind cannot handle this uncontrolled loss, and 98% of the participants do not have any weapon to handle their loss in a control way. So for day one, if we are going to set our psychology or set our understanding about the market, we are keeping this in our mind that why we are learning this approach, because we don't want to go for uncontrolled losses. And how we can do this? Very simple method. If we are following what big players are doing, we will be always staying with the big players. If their plan is to run upside, we will hold their hand and we will run upside. If their plan is to run downside, we will hold their hand and we will run downside. We will not go in the opposite direction of this big player. And if we get some tool by using which we can clearly make this opinion, then and only then we can uh, we can push ourselves beyond this boundary. Okay, we will never land up in this area. And I am going to share you the exact actions and exact weapons which we can use to stay away from this making uncontrolled losses. And after day one, every mind who is attending this session will understand it clearly what is uncontrolled loss. On day two, like tomorrow, I am going to give you exact steps by using which any of your trade, if you are taking after day two, will not land up into uncontrolled loss in any coming future. And this method is tested multiple times with different mindsets. Like I have since pandemic, I have trained around 1200 professionals with this theory, and they are successfully using this. And in any market condition, like there was a fall during pandemic, then there was a big bull run after pandemic, and now we are in sideways market of primary strength. What is primary strength? We have not yet discussed about this, but in any of the market structure, we are going to survive using this technique. Okay, so what we have learned, one single chart, and we are confused with two directions, because we have never cared about, maybe some of you have cared about sideways move, but I have given 80% of importance to sideways in this entire 5 years. And that is where we have learned a different level of observation, and that observation I am going to share with you. And this observation will help us to create uncontrolled profit. So there are four kind of trades which are happening in the market. There is always these four categories, or there are always these four stages of any market player. Any participant goes through all these four stages, and there is one logic behind these stages. Why we are landing up into the uncontrolled losses? There is one reason. I am going to share this reason with the matrix. So our psychology has some maturity. We need to first identify how mature we are in the stock market. So we need some certificate. What is the certificate? So this is my quote, and I have derived this over the period. What is the quote? Your last trade, the result of your last trade is your experience certificate of your entire stock market journey. If we made uncontrolled loss in our last trade, and if I am saying I have spent 10 years and still I am making uncontrolled loss, that means I am fresher in the market. So our last trade is our experience certificate in stock market. Our last trade should be controlled trade. And if it is controlled trade, everything is under control of our mind. then we are expert of the market. We can master it to any level, and we can scale our result to any level. And I am going to share with you the exact tools, how to repeat the activities, how to scale the activities, and how to take it to another compounding level. Okay, so now we should work upon our psychology which suits such behavior. So we need to identify what is my psychology and how I am going to absorb, or how I am going to absorb the part of this theory which is suitable for my psychology. I'm not saying you need to absorb everything, you need to adopt everything. Just try to digest or try to focus on the area which suits your mind, and that can help you to improve your trading style, or it can completely remove noise from your trading style. That I can guarantee. So whenever we are talking about psychology, we all are not same, and so our experiences are not same, so our actions and definitely results are not same. So here is the matrix. If you have spent your enough time, or during, so many of the participants, just share your journey in the market, how long you are there in the market, since last 10 years, 5 years, just post in the chat box. 7 years, 2.5 years, 2 years, 1 year, 5 year, 3 years, 5 years. What about others? Pirates, please and please actively participate in the session. And if you are ready to show your interest, I am going to share with you every pin to plane information, and that can completely change your our trading style. Okay, 5, 10. Ravindra is new to the market, no problem. 3 years. So average 3, 5, 10, I can see that. So now I'm going to share with you why there cannot be the result which you are expecting. One of the reason you can get this from the diagram. It can be like, if you are trading, if you have spent your entire 10 years in trading on information. What is information? Which is freely available. So it can be from books, whatever books you are referring, or it can be from any of the YouTube channels. There are many trainers present in the market. They are sharing their understanding about the market. But what they are sharing, if they are sharing about candlestick, this candlestick are nothing but the patterns, or nothing but the okay, this candlestick is an information which is provided to your mind. So using this information, your mind takes some decision and you become a participant of the market. So out of this many candlestick pattern, we can clearly identify some of the patterns, and these patterns are created by big players, and these patterns pull you inside the market, and then you make some decision, you become a participant of the market. And normally these patterns are created in such a way that these patterns can create a result where, if you are using this pattern for 3 days, first day you will win by using this pattern. Second day you can lose if you have used same pattern. And but third and most important day, there is an hope created. So this pattern will get repeat in the market after some day, and there is an again new hope. And this hope is nothing but a deadlock, a creation of deadlock. So your mind will get stuck into this loop. Every now and then the winning and the losing probability is distributed in the market in such a way that the retail participant will always have a losing probability. So out of 5 days, if you are sampling your result, out of 5 days, you will win for 2 days, you will lose for 2 days, and there will be 1 day kept for hope, to continuation, to continue this activity. Always there is an hope in the market, and this hope is killing your energy. This hope is killing your money. And what about this first 4 days? 2 winning days and 2 losing days. In this first 2 winning days, you might win some small profit, but in these 2 losing days, you are losing big amount of money, and that is where the trap is affecting you in completely different way. And I am going to share a weapon with you by using which you will never make any uncontrolled loss in your entire your further stock market journey. So here I am talking about most of the participants are spending their time 10 years, 5 years in trading on this chart patterns. So if candlestick is trapping some retail participant for intraday level, so there are some patterns created to trap participants on positional level, and we call it as in chart patterns. So these are combinations of candlestick patterns, and these have many angles. Like if you can start plotting the lines. Initially, the line will look like this. After some time, this will change the angle. Again, after some time, this will change the angle. And likewise, as new candle is participating in the journey, the angle will be keep on changing. And that is why we are we are starting with one of the pattern, and it will again created into something else. And our analysis keeps on changing based on this different behavior of the patterns. Okay. So if you are trading with the information for 10 years, that means you will end up into the result where 95% participants are loser. Suppose out of these 10 years, if we are spending one complete year on one single chart, then you will have certain set of knowledge. This is your own observations, and what your mind can handle. You can clearly identify then what your mind can handle out of this entire price action and what your mind cannot handle. So there are two different columns we can create after this. One which your own mind can handle, and one which is your mind cannot handle. So I have listed out all these observations for my mindset, which I am going to share with you. If we are using this sheet actively for certain duration, like for next 1 or 2 months. So suppose you have spent 10 years over here, you are spending 1 year in doing this. If you have spent 1 month is 1 month is doing this, you will get an experience. That experience is nothing but whatever knowledge you have gained. You have used that knowledge in live market. You have not used information. Using this information, you cannot directly jump to the experience. Your mind should first process this information, filter it out as a knowledge, your own notes, and then you should build up based on these notes. When you have started training your mind, it can create an experience inside your mind. So some of the participants must be expert in catching reverse move. Some of the participants must be expert in closing your trade from the big negative to small positive. Or some of your participants can handle any market condition irrespective of knowing market structure, right? So with this knowledge, your psychology, which has many opponents. Normally the psychology has very open, no, many opponents. These opponents gets closed, and you get some control point where, or the control rules or some set of rules which can control your mind, and your mind will react to only some points and it will not react to some situations. And then we are working on this behavior where your mind can control this price action. When you are started, you start working upon this. The more you are working on this, more experience you are collecting, you will be start getting more control on your mind. And likewise, when I spend good amount of time in experiencing what works for me, I have converted it into the skill. What is the skill? It is nothing but whatever information I have processed. I have created 100 pages notes, suppose, and I have used that note, and I have created only 1 page rule where there are only 10 rules. If you are following these 10 rules, you are going to kill the market, or you are going to create unlimited opportunities from the market. So by using this experience, I have created two skills. One skill which is opportunity window, which is applicable for stocks. Just go and check any stock. This opportunity window is applicable to any of the stock. in any of the time frame. And there is another tool which is created for index. So initially we have evolved a tool which is called as an patient zone. Why it is called as patient zone, we will discuss upon this on day 3. So this one is initially developed, and when the participant asked me what is there for stocks, so we have configured or we have revised this logic, and we have used some part of this logic which is applicable to stock, and then we call it as an skill. So I am going to take you in this entire 5 days. I am going to take you through this entire journey. So whatever thing I am going to share with you will start from this area, not from information. We are not going to discuss candlestick pattern, chart pattern, indicators, books, YouTube channels, which are generally sharing their knowledge, which is of no use, because if anything is available for free, that is just to trap. You will realize this when you are spending good amount of time with two lines theory. Why two lines theory? Because what big players are doing, they are just deploying these patterns to trap retail participant, and big players have their clear targets, but retail participants are provided with the tools where they either can catch partial targets or they get confused after certain duration. So over the period, if you are practicing this, your mind involvement will be less, but your control on your actions will be more. So what you will understand after taking experience, you will understand what works for you, what your mind can handle, but in that what works for you and what may never work for you. So still there can be a part where mind can handle, but which is not working for you. So you can separate out that, and using this, if you are spending good amount of time, like within this 1 week, I am going to deploy a skill which is prepared by putting 5 years of efforts, and using this, if you are repeating this, if you are repeating this experience, it can become a skill. So what you should repeat, you should repeat these rules, and if you are observing this market with these rules, you are going to get the same behavior. Same thing is happening in the market over and over again. And what you should not repeat, like if anything is working for you, you should repeat that. If anything is not working for you, you should never repeat that. That is what we need to do. Suppose big losses are not working for you, or big losses are taking you to some negative level, then you should not repeat an activity which is creating big losses. And we are going to understand, or I am going to give you the exact steps which cannot take you to make big losses. And that is why we are going to repeat what activities, or we are going to repeat what kind of actions. These actions are going to give you either small profit, small loss, or big profit. Okay. And if you are repeating these skills for next 36 months, after spending first 8 months, your mind will start responding to these patterns in effortless manner. Like, to train our mind, we need first 8 months where consciously you are doing this activity. After 8 months, your mind will start responding to these observations subconsciously, and then it will be an effortless activity for your mind, and then we can scale up our result. So for first 8 months, we are going to repeat this activity, the same activity every day. We will come into the market, we will repeat same activity. What activity is there, I'm going to share this on day 5. Okay. And then we can create a mastery out of it. So what I did for last 5 years, I have tried to process all these informations to a level where it can become a skill, and then I can hand over this skill to any retail participant, and depending on their own mind capacity, the participant can become a master in that skill. So using this skill, so there are different level of understanding. So one of the understanding, if you can check this screenshot, when we analyzed market, so it was the time around 30th August 2020. There was a clear Nifty target given by this two lines method. Nifty will not take any halt or reversal till 17,400. And the same way, we are talking about Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty should not take any halt until reaching to 14,900. This target is not yet completed. This target is completed for Nifty. Okay, because Nifty was ahead and Bank Nifty was still lagging, and it is lagging at that time, and it is still lagging. Okay, this is one of the kind of observation. There are multiple different observation. If you go into the war situation using two lines, what we have analyzed, the market went sideways, and then we analyzed on 4th of March 2020. This is not long term correction, this is a heavy bounce back at all time high. It is like 80h. Accidentally I have written ATM before corona fall, which can be planned at 32613. And if you go into the chart, if you check the level from which level the market has taken bounce back, what was that level? 32613. This is 32613. So exactly at this point, when the market was approaching to this level, how can we say the market is going to reverse? Or at this point, how can we say the market is going to travel for 4,000 points? All these things we are going to understand by knowing these two lines psychology. And why this two line psychology is overpowering anything, it is because we have mapped this with the shadow activity or the big players. We are shadowing all the activities which big players are performing on the chart, and using our understanding we can clearly identify which actions are responsible for big players and which actions are responsible for rest of the millions of participants. Okay, so do not underestimate the brain and its computing power. So I would like to demonstrate what we are going to learn further. Can any one of you read this for me? Just try, just give an attempt to read this. Anyone can unmute yourself and start reading this.
Okay, I'll read.
Okay.
It doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and the last letter be at the right place. The rest can be a total mess, and you can still read it without problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole.
Thank you. I guess Mini. Okay. Thank you, Mini
Yes.
ji. Yeah. So what I have demonstrated over here is, if you start reading this, once your mind understand this first letter and the last letter is at the right place, and all the other letters are not in sync, or they does not matter to the computing power of our brain, we can, so maybe the first line, it will be difficult for our mind to read, but the next lines, once you practice this, it is very easy journey. Like if it is taking 20 seconds, the next 4 lines will take 20 seconds. And this is what we are going to do with our brain. So I am going to revise our brain and revise our psychological understanding, and we are going to deploy a skill which can read whatever present in the chart and which is responsible for the action of big players, and our mind will start ignoring whatever they're created on chart by rest of the participant. Okay, so we can clearly identify what are these two control points. Like in this word, the first and last letter is important. Like for our method, the upper and the lower control line is very important. Thank you for reading. So now by doing this, where we are going to land exactly in this entire understanding. So there are different participants in the market. Let me just explain this and then we can switch to the chart. Okay. So normally, if suppose you are failing or you have some different result as an and the result is not as expected, what is happening exactly? I am going to explain this with the market spectrum. So there are there are two kind of, or two ends in the market. One end is where we know what exactly is going to happen in the market. This is an hypothetical point where a participant knows what exactly is going to happen with the market, and this is a hypothetical north end. This can be a south end, this can be a north end, where market or participant does not care about market structure, and he prepares himself to adjust to any situation. And this is the pole where participant prepare himself to understand the every aspect of market structure. And we are normally toggling between this spectrum, and we our default psychology, where our default psychology is residing at any of the point of this entire spectrum. So there can be some participants who don't care about market structure, and they will find themselves near towards this end, and they can adjust to any market situation. So there are many option sellers which are there in the market, like those who are handling 920 straddles, or there are any positional traders or positional investors. They just enter into the market and they keep adjusting their position, they keep averaging their position irrespective of market condition. They just map this understanding, and they just create a set of rules. By using these rules, they just keep on adjusting with the market. They don't care what is happening in the market. Or there are some participants you will find, they will have adjustment skill, also along with that they will have some level of market understanding. And until and unless your psychology is not aligned to the market sentiments, what kind of sentiments you can read, and that sentiments, for that sentiments you should prepare your psychology. If we can do that, then and only then we are going to produce good result. So normally, suppose you can suppose in one case you can understand the market structure to certain level, and then you have prepared your psychology in such a way that you can handle this phase, then and only then we are going to produce good result. And if suppose, one moment, if suppose you have a expertise in handling adjusting the market, but whatever psychology you do have is based, you have created your psychology based on some market structure, and then if you are applying this logic where market sentiments are something different, but you are trying to apply this logic and you have never tested this scenario, then we are going to get the results which are unexpected. So where I am going to take you, I am going to take you to an area where I have created some set of rules or some set of psychological rules which will give you a set of actions which are suitable for market conditions, like some defined structures. Okay, so you can get some expertise in understanding market structure, and along with that I am going to give you what suitable actions, or what are the set of suitable actions out of which you need to select your set of actions, and then and only then this is going to work. Suppose you are expert in any kind of adjustment, then how is it is going to help you? It will take you towards the better understanding of the market. And maybe once you know the better perspective of the market, you need a less adjustment. So I'm not asking you to come to this end. I'm telling you, you can use this skill to reduce the noise. Like if you are applying these skills, if you are expert in handling adjustments, then it will take you to a level where you need lesser adjustments. Okay, so I have created this kind of structure for our session. So our journey, it is like, we are going to start with one of the example, and I need input from you. So suppose you are standing on a railway platform and the train is approaching towards the station and you would like to board this train, and definitely this train will halt for some time and you need to make that decision within next 2 minutes. And when you approach to the station, you saw that train is coming from left side and it is going to right side. Suppose you want to go to the right side only. Okay, so you have only 2 minutes. I need answer from all of you. And you know the station, the next station is the station you would like to get down at is in the same line on the right side, but it is third or fourth station. And within this 2 minutes, you need to identify whether you should catch this train or not. So what can be the different actions your mind can do? If I ask you, will you jump into the train? Suppose there is no indicator on the train. Will you catch that train? And then you will ask the fellow passengers on which station this train is going, or will you not catch the train, or you will wait for next train? Just try to.
Wait.
Yes. Yes, sir, please. Wait for next one.
I will wait for.
Wait for next train. Ask before boarding, right? You will. So suppose there is no indicator on the train, we cannot directly jump inside the train, and then we will check whether this train is going to halt at our station or not, what the expected station we should get down. Suppose there is an indicator. Yes, we will definitely check the boarding, check the train or check the destinations which are there for this train before boarding. Suppose there is an indicator and that indicator is showing the train is going to Delhi, and you know your destination is just in the same route of Delhi, and whether you know and you still do not have an idea whether this train will halt at your destination or not, but it is going to Delhi. What will be your decision? Will you board that train or not? You will catch this train. Some of the participants will not catch this train. Okay. Yogesh will catch this train. Sorry, I'm addressing everyone with the first name just for the conversation purpose. Without confirmation, how can I? So the mind is behaving in such a way that we don't have confirmation. Still, some mind can get into the train, and what they will do, they will ask the fellow passengers. So suppose the many of us, you are saying the answer is no. Okay. Suppose these participants did not enter into the train, and there is one participant who has entered into the train. What will be the action of that participant? He will first ask the fellow passenger, right? And that fellow passenger, he might have also jumped into the train, and he is only concerned about his own destination. He is not concerned about whether this train is going to Delhi and at what station it will again stop after his station. So suppose if you ask to a passenger who is getting down before you, and if you ask the question whether this train will go to your station or not, what will be his answer? He will say, I know. Maybe you can share your answer, please.
Can you please repeat the question again?
Okay, suppose there is one passenger. When you enter into the train, and this passenger is only concerned about his station. He has entered into the train by looking at the indicator. The train is going to Delhi, and he wants to go to some middle station which is before Delhi. And he asks this passenger, and this passenger will is getting down before the passenger who has recently entered into the train, and he is only concerned about his station. He is not aware whether this train will go beyond his station, whether it is going to halt at the station which this passenger is expecting. So what answer this passenger can give, or if you are asking this fellow passenger, will that be a right action, or it is going to again create an
No,
confusion?
it's not a right approach to reach a desired destination.
Right.
This,
So then again, you have made up your opinion and you have entered into the train, and you might be asking to a wrong passenger where he himself is not aware of the actual destination. And
correct.
although he has given you an answer, maybe I don't know, or he has given answer, yes, train can go. And by following his decision, if we are taking our decision, then again we are adding some noise into that information. Okay. There is one passenger sitting inside the train, and he has closed his eyes and he is quite relaxed. He is not worried about what is happening with all the other passengers. He knows his destination, and he has some information which is very concrete, and he knows that whether this train is going to stop at his location, or it is like he has entered into this train where he know the final destination for this train. So I would like to ask you over here, if there are some passengers who are sitting in the same train and they know the exact information, why they know the exact information, I'm going to share that as well. So would you like to ask any of your query to that passenger, or would you like to make up your decision based on the all the other parameters? This passenger is just relaxed and he is not worried about anything. What could be your opinion? Or now if you find such passenger, will you ask him, or will you avoid him, and will you ask for, you will go and ask for information from all the other passengers or all the other set of informations? He is an operator. Okay. So why he is relaxed? Because this is a smart passenger. What he did before entering into the train, he went to the motorman and he asked whether this train where this train is exactly going, and the motorman exactly shared all the informations, where are my halts and where I am going to stop this train, right? So if these kind of information is available on chart, instead of asking to rest of the world, I'll first try to find out who is the passenger who is giving us a concrete set of information, and I'm going to spend my entire time and in knowing this passenger or in understanding this passenger. And that is what I did. So for us, the train is operated by FIIs, and we are going to spend our good amount of time in understanding FIIs. So I am also open to share my observation. Along with that, these observations are captured with the capacity of my brain. And if you, any one of you, like to take this observation to completely new level, I'm always open to share observations from my side, and I am always open to consider your observations too, to evolve this theory. That is why I'm going to share this with first 1,000 smart retail traders, and we are going to use this theory, use this skill. And why I have given this example, because except motorman, every other passenger have a limited set of information, limited targets. They are not completely aware of the targets. Even indicators which are placed on the train will not have the complete information. Only motorman is the person who can stop this train whenever he wants to, and who can drive this train to any level wherever he wants to. And he still have a limit. He can do this until he is reaching to final destination. And this part of psychology we are going to observe clearly on the chart. Okay. So from here onwards, whatever observations or whatever information we are going to look into, that should come from the FIIs, and we are ignoring rest all the informations. Okay. So as we are going forward with day one, we do have a psychology which will cross this barrier and which will take us to a level where we can toggle between this phase of uncontrolled loss to control loss. Using this psychology, at least we have understood that making uncontrolled loss is not good, and we should need some weapon which will take us to a phase where we can make control loss. And how we can do this? By following FIIs, we can do this. And there is one point which is break even point. What is break even point? We are going to understand this as well. We are going to spend tomorrow entire day in understanding and mapping this break even point, and why this break even point is important, and how we have come up with this concept of break even point, because every mind has some limitation and we need to map these limitations to market structure. So what we have understood today, how these sentiments are there present in the market, what sentiment we should work upon, which sentiment we should work upon, and what activity we should perform with these sentiments, and what kind of psychology we should build in our mind to handle those sentiments. So that is what we have understood, and I hope after this session we know the psychology is most important aspect of this entire journey, and that is why we have spent around 20% of this time in understanding the psychology. Before going further on the chart, I would like to ask you I would like to know your understanding about the psychology. On the scale of 1 to 10, just post your understanding. So nowadays DIs are also gradually becoming stronger. DIA can become stronger, but DIA already have a limitation on execution. Okay, what is the limitation? This is about derivative and cash market, and we are going to discuss this on day 3 also. So DIA can create some position in one direction only. Do not have a they do not have power, or they do not have tools where they can create a reverse positions. We are not caring about DIS. We are only caring about FIS, what FIS, foreign institutional investors, what they are doing with market. We are going to spend our entire time in understanding what FIs are doing. Okay. PCR also no in favor. PCR, put call ratio. That is what you are talking. Yes, we are not considering standard tools which are currently used by retail participants. No PCR, no I data, no chart pattern, no candlestick pattern, no indicators like Bollinger Band, Ichimoku cloud, or fractals, or stochastic indicators. We are using some part of EMA and some part of RSI, because these tools are already present. We are using this completely in different way. We are going to understand this tomorrow. And but we are not using EMA as an EMA or RSI as an RAI. We have some different understanding. Okay. And so we are using only horizontal lines, and how these horizontal lines are enough, and how these horizontal lines can give us some clarity which does not need any of the skill. That you may get the answer for this question on the day 5 itself. So slowly and gradually your mind will have that belief. Your mind will start building pillars based on this understanding, and on day 2 itself, like tomorrow onwards, if you are touching any stock, within next 3 minutes you can create a kundali of that stock, or you can clearly identify whether the stock will go up or down. That level of clear understanding you will get. You need not to spend good amount of time in understanding fundamentals, going through lots of like sheets. Sheet is like profit and loss sheets, or the technical indicators. No, we need not to visit to any of such screeners where profit and loss statements are there, PCR ratio is maintained, PE ratio is there, or net profits or depth ratio. We did not to care about anything. Okay. And I'm going to share some trailer in today's session. Just give me name of 2 or 3 stocks, and we are going to check the kundali of these 2-3 stocks before closing the session. And before that, let me so how many of you have experienced Sitaraman candle? Or do anyone have that idea whether the next crash, when the next crash was happening, like Corona fall? Do you have any advance information before Corona fall? So you have seen this Sitaraman candle. Would you like to understand what was the logic behind Sitaraman candle, and why there was a Corona fall after that Sitaraman candle? I'll explain that on chart. Along with that, yes, good. So before Sitaraman candle, so with this theory, I have made some projections on the chart. Let me share those with you. So every time using this, yeah, every time we can use this skill on any of the time frame. So how many of you were there or traded today in Bank Nifty? Or how many of you have seen today's move in DMART? So Kirti ji, you have traded in Bank Nifty today?
Yes,
Okay,
sir. I'm a full-time trader.
that's great. Really great.
Sir, but I never heard about Sitaraman candle. मतलब
Okay,
ये
see,
मैंने first time सुना है.
okay. I'll show you that candle.
Okay.
Sitaraman candle. It is a very famous candle.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Sitaraman candle is nothing but this one. This is the
The
Sitaraman candle,
the
and the
green
mark.
one.
Yes, the green one. So this was the move which has happened because of the speech which is given by Sitaraman, and we call it as an Sitaraman candle, budget day candle. Yes. So there is an price action happening before budget day, and
But
yes, please.
but sir, जो 13th of March 2020 को जो आपने दिखाया, that was also Sitaraman candle, but that
N-
day was not a budget day.
Yes, that is not Sitaraman candle. This candle is also not created by Sitaraman. Only after the speech of Sitaraman, someone deployed some big amount of money, and I'm going to explain that what was the reason
Okay,
behind. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you are talking about budget candle. That's why you called her Sitaraman candle.
Yes,
Okay.
that candle become famous because of that speech given by Sitaraman. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
So as I have shown you the price action which is happened on daily time frame, the similar set of price action is happening on hourly time frame. Okay. So these two lines are present in every time frame. Why these are present? Because these are created by computers or algos. Humans are not creating this. These are created by algos, and because of our observation, accidentally we come across this skill 5 years back. And when I first time I published this document, I'm also going to share that document in the group. When I published this theory, it was 16-page document at that time, and many of the participants did not believe the theory. But
Sir, you
later,
will teach us ना कि हमें कैसे draw करना होगा ये.
exactly, yes, on day 3
Okay.
and day 5 we are going to learn this. And from day 5 onwards, you may not need me also to plot this on chart. So it is a completely independent skill I am going to share with you. Zero dependency. No trainer will share this skill definitely. But this is not causing any harm from my side, because if I'm sharing this with you, it is not going to kill my opportunity. I have my independent opportunities with the market. Okay, so this is the sideways move happened. The similar but scalably lower magnitude price action has happened. If you watch this, the similar kind of price action has happened in this part of chart. And then when the price cross this level, or when the price has crossed this boundary, so after reaching to this 2x, so where what this two lines theory says, market goes into the decision making phase for some duration, and when it makes a decision of going up or down, when the decision is made, the price is allowed to cross the boundary, and if price has crossed the boundary, it travels to 2x the distance. That is why all the price action has stopped and market went into the another decision for that day. and that decision is been made for Sitaraman candle, and market went sideways again after reaching to this point. When it's went sideways again after crossing one of the boundaries, market ran for again for some distance. So this distance should be 2x, right? But you can see the market when opened for next day, it has opened at this point and the 2x is not covered, and market take a reversal. For me, market is like bank nifty. So whenever we are referring to market, it is we are discussing about bank nifty only. So that
बट
means the
सर ये
target
2x कहाँ हुआ, ये
nahi
2x
hua.
कहाँ हुआ?
Yes, this does not went to 2x. The additional manipulation has happened, but later the market completed 2x. And if you check this move, so normally the target, whenever the price goes sideways or decision making, there is a sluggish way. The price is moving inside inside these two control points, and whenever it is traveling in the trending mode, there should be a trending move. This should not be sluggish move. What is sluggish and what is trending? In sluggish move, market will not create a prominent high or low. So market will struggle between two control points, and these highs and lows are within this range. And whenever it is trending, it will create higher high or lower high, higher low or lower low. So in this case, it has created lower high. So this is lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is trending move. In this case, it will not create higher low, lower low. It will create equal low or equal highs. We are going to discuss this in detail. Don't worry about this. I'm just showing you with this logic what we can do with the market. Okay. So when this kind of price action was happening, so we have made some projections just before Sitaraman candle. One moment. I'm pausing the screen for some time. I just need to check the chart. I'll just check the chart. Okay, no backup data analysis. Got it. Okay, so this was the price action happened before Sitaraman candle. So market was stuck in this 1600 points range. This range was defined by big players before Corona fall. So it has a magnitude of 1600 points, approximately 1600, and the price was traveling in the 1600. At any point, if the price is crossing below this level, it is going to travel for 3200 points only, and then it should take a reversal. So this has happened when market has started created lower low. Okay, and then it has created lower low, lower low, lower low. It has reached to the destination. Once it is reaching to destination, what our observation is saying, just ignore this new low, lower low. This is not lower low, this is lower high. So I was in hurry in creating this screenshot because we were expecting Sitaraman candle or such kind of move, because there was an price action happening, and that is why I posted in hurry. I have written down as an lower low and copied to all over. So just ignore this. It is an lower high, not lower low. So anytime lower high is broken, the price will run for 3200 points. Anytime the lower high is broken, I have written it as lower low, we may see new 3200 points move upside. It is clearly mentioned upside. We are not talking about downside. And at this moment, many of the participants must be thinking about the fall, because market was at its peak, right? But we had a clear understanding the market will go upside, and then and only then market will fall for the creation of next low. Okay. So how we can analyze this, and at what date we have analyzed this? September 9, 2019. And Corona crash has not happened. And on the same day, I have also made the projection after reaching to this destination. I'll also share that screenshot if it is available there, or I'll share that in the group. If market is reaching to this 30 to 200, 30 to 200, it will fall for 8,000 points. And that also we have mentioned. And then there was one analysis made. The market will approach towards 20,000. In this fall, the market will approach towards 20,000. So this kind of analysis we can do. Even this kind of analysis, when market created this low or market created this low in Bank Nifty, why after creating this low and why at this point we can say the market will reach to 49,000. After crossing this point where we can say the market will first touch 17,400 before going sideways. That is what we can analyze well in advance, and we can catch such moves. Even the move which was happened on 4th March. So there is one screenshot which I have shared with you, where price was reached to this point, and all these observations, like so I am active on Twitter since March 2021, I guess. And even every day we are posting these observations on Twitter group, Twitter handle, and you can check these observations. We are posting the market will go in this direction, and when market is approaching to that direction, we are posting again before and after scenarios. So
Your Twitter ID, sir?
Twitter ID is Two Lines Club.
Two Lines Club. Can you please?
I'll post it in the group.
Okay.
Okay, but don't get confused. Just visit Twitter account after 5 days if you would like to. And otherwise we are going to get all the details about Telegram or Twitter or WhatsApp group, and the material which I'm going to share with you, all the templates. You are going to get it in 5 days. Okay. So yeah, so slowly we will explore each and every topic. So today we are freezing psychology. Tomorrow, for this psychology, I am going to give you the weapon which can create a trades which will not cross uncontrolled loss in any of your further stock market journey. So like this, there are many other price actions we can check on the chart. The similar price action when we discuss about 13th March 2020 candle. What has happened in this 13th March 2020 candle? When FIIs exited the market, their ratio in Bank Nifty. So I'm going to share with you a secret using which you can identify when the next crash in Bank Nifty is going to happen. Okay. So market first corrected by certain points. One moment. So from this point, when market fell below 17%, just note this point, fell below 17%. Where is 17%? This is 17%. On this day, when market opened on 9th March, when market opened below 17%, that was the point the actual fall started. Okay. Then after taking out all the money, they have created a second stop at what could be the number? What is the two times of 17%? 34.
51.
So market taken a halt at 34. Exactly at 34, they have deployed their money just to control this movement. So they don't want to take market to any other level but to control level. And how they controlled it? By creating reverse action of how many percentage?
17.
17%. And then again they take market to next level. What could be the number? 3 times of 17?
51.
51%. And what is the 17% logic? When I say the market is not going to cross below 17% at any moment of time, that means at this moment, if market is creating a low, this is not crash, because market is hovering at 17%. This is not crash. Is this a crash? So when we approach to this point, the market has again created a low, which is at 17%. Is market going to crash? At this point, if you go and check the post on Twitter, I said market will run for next 4,000 points on upside, not downside. Is it also possible for you now onwards to identify when the next crash is happening? So now we are in a situation where we are beyond 17%. This is very scary move. So there was a time when war situation allowed market to enter into this area, but you can go and check one of the video which is present on our YouTube channel. Are you guys aware of the YouTube channel?
No.
Okay, then don't go today. After day 5, I am going to share. Now this is visible to you, but don't go and don't get confused. After 5 days, you are going to get all the material, but in sequential format. What is what is logic of 17%? We are going to discuss this logic of 17% on day 3. Don't mix up all the understanding. We are just going through each and every aspect of this theory. And when market fail from this point, it is again restricted to 17% from this low. And that is why when we say market is not going to crash at this point, but it will jump again, jump back. Okay, the only thing now is the concern is we are beyond 17% from all-time high. And that is why our economy is danger. If no one is there to take us back in this range, then we can see a crash of how many points? Next halt will be at 28,000, and our economy should afford this. And the next further halt will be at 21,000. This could be the next level if we are staying below this level. So there must be someone who can take us back. Okay.
Okay.
So this is very important candle. This 13th March candle has revealed what FIIs are doing with our Indian stock market, and why what they are doing means, if you take a half of this candle, this can give you a clear picture where exactly market is creating high and low. So I am going to take a half of this. So this was the full candle, full day price action. What they did, they deployed 2 bags of money in the Indian stock market, and we are only concerned about 1 bag of money. So they are allowed to push 1 bag of money in any day in Indian stock market, and this one day is very important. So you will, if you start plotting these 2 ranges, 2 control points in Bank Nifty, you will find after creating this high, the price is creating this low, which is at equidistance. After creating this low, the price is creating the high at equidistance. After creating this low, price is creating this high, and the next high is created by price is exactly same distance away. So if you are plotting this, you can see the same high is same distance away. Again, at any moment, highs and lows. So you must be aware of this high and low. This is exactly at 2160 points away. From this low to this high, this is 2160 points. And so from this low to this high, this is 2160. From this high to this low, this is again 2160. So from this high to this low, this is 2160. So how many of you have seen your portfolio went into the negative? This has happened because from the high, the market has crossed the low, which is beyond 2160. And after this point, you might have seen there is a negative movement happening in your portfolio. 17%, yes, it is only for Bank Nifty. For Nifty, it is 13%, and I'm going to share the logic of that 13%. So the market is controlled in the capacity of 2100. So from this low, the market is allowed to reached to a 2100 points from this point. Even this range was 2100, and when it broke down, the market had capacity to go down to 2100, and exactly at this point it has taken a reversal. Okay, so it has some logic, and we are going to learn this logic. Have any one of you out of this 25 participants, any one of you have observed this kind of do you have this kind of observations, or you have come across this kind of observation in any of the Telegram channel, YouTube channel, or book? No. Then this topic will be really interested for you, and just stay tuned for next 5 days, and it is going to change your complete perspective towards market by 360 degree, and you will have a power which no retailers can have. You would like to check an example? How many
Yeah.
points you have tried to catch in future? Suppose you would like to carry a future, how many points you would like to carry this future position in index? Or if you have built any position in stock, how long you would like to carry that position? Do you have any concrete understanding how long you can carry? I'm going to share one of the observations using which, if you are bank nifty trader and you would like to catch the future from any low, just try to understand this logic. From any low, if the market is crossing 2160 in this candle, suppose you are taking entry in this candle, you can carry this position from this point until a level where price is not crossing below 2160 from any high. If price is not crossing or closing below 2160, this was the first instance on 28th of October. So you can carry your position from this point to this point. How many points in future you can catch? 6,000 points. Is it really possible? Yes. So suppose you have carried a future when market has created a low and it has crossed below 2160. You can carry this until market is not crossing back 2160. So until this point. So this is 2,600 points, and the actual closing of this trade is twice the distance, as market has crossed this range 2x the distance of the range. So this is the exact exit for this range. This was the exit. It is the similar kind of action which we have seen in Sitaraman candle. Similarly, it is happening over and over again. So once it breaks 2160, it will travel to another 2160. No, do not directly apply this in live market. After day 3, you will have all the understanding. Stay tuned. Don't go for 17% or 13% logic, because this logic looks lucrative, but handling this 13% is very difficult. So I am going to share the weapon to handle this 13% or 17%. We are, for analysis perspective, we are watching this in terms of percentage, but to handle these ranges, we have actual points, set of points, and we are going to handle all these ranges with points. And as and when we are progressing with the sessions, you are going to get good confidence on this technique. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just focus on today's topic. Whatever we have understood as per psychological perspective, you just go and watch this session. If you think this session is helpful for you, repeat this session. Otherwise, today is assignment for you. How many of you are interested in assignment?
Me.
Great. What about other participants? So assignment for you, and every one of us will share one stock as per your current understanding, and you are going to share that stock, and you will select one stock, and if suppose someone is posting that one stock in the group, the next person will not post that stock. He will choose some other stock. So everyone needs to post one stock, and in that one stock, you need to share how long that stock can run from current market price and its past journey. So what was a bull run for you and what was the bear run for you, and how you have analyzed that bull run and bear run using your existing tools. And tomorrow I am going to share with you one tool or one set of rules by using which you can analyze any stock for any duration using any time frame, and that stock can belong to any sector. We don't care about sector, we don't care about stock itself. And that tool, that method can give you an exact understanding when you should enter into the stock, how long you should hold that stock, and when is the right time to exit the stock. Okay, so if I get more than 15 stocks in the group, then and only then I'm going to take an additional topic for tomorrow's session. Otherwise, I'll cover the default topic and I'll close the tomorrow's session. I need the participation from your side. And why this participation is needed? It is definitely we are going to exchange our observations. And from all the participants which are currently present in this session, if any participant is ready to take ahead this theory, then maybe with his mind capacity, we can explore the different level of observation. So I'm looking for that. And that is why I'm sharing this with all the retail part. I'm going to share this with first 1,000 participants. After that, I don't think I do right now. I don't have any plan to share this with any more participants. So we are going to check this with first 1,000 participants. Okay. And so tomorrow, after tomorrow's session, if you have any fear in taking perfect entry or perfect exit in stock, or you have a fear of missing out, every fear we are going to kill tomorrow. And from tomorrow onwards, you are going to create any position in stock. You will have a peaceful sleep in night. Don't worry about that. And I'm going to take your opinion on that as well. So before closing this session, just share your opinion on the scale of 1 to 10. What is your understanding about psychology? Yes, you need to identify what was the bull run and the bear run on the selected stock. 7, 9, 7, 8. That's good. 7 is the average. 7 is the average. Not a problem. 7 is the average. 10. Abhay is saying 10. Good. And I hope this psychology. So whatever we are going to discuss further is it will have a direct relation to the sentiments which belongs to FIS. Okay. We will not take care of all the other sentiments. Just keep in mind. Ashwin is saying 9. Good. So the group will be open for you to post your understanding about stocks, current understanding, and tomorrow onwards you will have some different understanding. So thank you, pirates, for attending this session, and we have extended 30 minutes and still you are there, and I'm happy to have such serious participants in this workshop. So let's hope for the best outcome of this workshop. Till we will keep this momentum till day 5, and keep posting in your understanding in the group. Just keep sharing your current observations, current understanding, and hopefully we whatever I commit or whatever I'm expecting from this workshop after day 5, you may not need me, and you will be an independent professional trader after attending day 5. That is what is expected. Yes, I'm going to share the video. It will take some 2 to 3 hours because I'll upload this on YouTube. Then YouTube process this for HD version. It is taking 3 to 4 hours. Yes, I'll also share the Twitter and YouTube handle with all of you. Thank you, pirates, and let's meet tomorrow at same time, 8 p.m. with same strength. Have a great day ahead. Closing session for everyone.